And now let's go live to the official Mavericks watch party at the factory in Deep Ellum, where Marvin Hurst is in the middle of Mavs mania tonight. Marvin?
It is a madhouse in here. That's because the Mavs have won.
We've got a final showdown that's juicier than a Texas brisket after the Dallas Mavericks turned the Minnesota Timberwolves into timber puppies on Thursday.
The Western Conference champions are the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to the NBA Finals.
They're all set to tango with the Boston Celtics in the 2024 NBA Finals. So let's dust off our crystal ball and dive into some bold predictions. Spoiler alert, things are about to get spicy. All right, let's take a little trip down memory lane. Back in 2006, Dwayne Wade was on fire, torching the finals with a blistering 34.7 points per game. Fast forward 6 years, and Kevin Durant was doing his thing, dropping 30.6 points in the 2012 finals. Now here's a fun fact. No one else in the NBA's three-point era has averaged over 30 points in a finals before hitting the ripe old age of 26. Well, get ready to add another name to that exclusive list. Despite the Boston Celtics having the third best defense this season, Luka Doncic, who just celebrated his 25th birthday in February, is ready to crash that party. He averaged a cool 32.4 points against Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, and the best regular season defense in the league. No big deal, right? Even with the Minnesota Timberwolves playing defense like their lives depended on it, Luka was in full control. He was putting defenders in his pocket, sinking jumpers from everywhere, dishing out assists like Oprah handing out cars, and delivering jaw-dropping moments as both a scorer and a passer. Remember Game 2? Luka had Rudy Gobert backpedaling like he was late for a dentist appointment before hitting a game-winning step-back three with just 3 seconds left.
Bears out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it.
Game 3, he sealed the deal with a drive and a lefty lob to Daniel Gafford that almost brought down the American Airlines Center. And in Game 5, Luka came out swinging, scoring 20 of his 36 points in the first quarter alone, setting the tone for the series-clinching win. So even with Boston's toughest-nails defense, featuring Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, it's safe to say there's no real answer for playoff Luka. Thursday's Game 5 win over Minnesota was Luka's 45th career playoff game, and his stats are mind-blowing. 1,400 points, 425 rebounds, and 370 assists. No one else in NBA history matched or exceeded those totals in their first 43 playoff games. To put that in perspective, you'd have to lower the bar to 1,100 points, 300 rebounds, and 300 assists, just to include legends like LeBron James and Oscar Robertson. On the flip side, Jason Tatum has been catching some flack this postseason, but let's take a step back and look at the numbers. He's 12 for 2, leading the Celtics with 26 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. The fact that these impressive stats are getting him criticized says a lot about the high standards he's set for himself. However, there's one thing that's a bit concerning: his three-point shooting. Tatum's been firing off 7.1 triples per game, but only hitting 29% of them. If he keeps up that pace, Boston's going to struggle to keep up with the red-hot Mavericks. But here's the silver lining. Before this year, Tatum was hitting 35.9% of his postseason threes and shot 37.6% in the regular season. So it's only a matter of time before he breaks out of the slump, right? Dallas does have a few guys that can at least make Tatum work for his shots, like PJ Washington and Derek Jones Jr. But the Celtics' offense is a well-oiled machine, generating a ton of good looks. They led the league in open three-point attempts and were 8th in wide-open attempts during the regular season. Tatum's bound to start hitting those at a rate closer to his career norms once the finals roll around. So while his shooting has been off, don't count Tatum out just yet. He's proven time and again that he can rise to the occasion, and there's a good chance he'll find his rhythm when it matters most. The Mavericks have been on an absolute tear, and a lot of that is thanks to their high-flying, rim-protecting duo, rookie Derek Lively II and deadline day acquisition Daniel Gafford. These two have transformed the Mavericks' game with their relentless rim running and shot blocking skills, giving Dallas a full 48 minutes of high-end play at the center position, with Lively and Gafford as above-the-rim lob threats. Luka Doncic's pick-and-roll game has become almost unstoppable. If defenders follow Luka and is diving big into the paint, the shooters on the outside are left wide open. Stick with the shooters, and Lively and Gafford are ready to wreck the rim. It's a pick-your-poison scenario for any defense. As the finals progress, expect to see Lively start to take over more of Gafford's minutes. Right now, they're splitting time pretty evenly, but Lively's activity on the offensive boards and his overall positive impact on the game have been huge for Dallas in the high-stakes environment of the finals, where every little edge counts. Lively's knack for offensive rebounding and better decision-making in the short roll could be game-changing. Lively is averaging 8.6 points and 7.2 rebounds in just 21.8 minutes per game so far in these playoffs. Those numbers are pretty likely to climb into double figures in the finals, which is pretty remarkable for a rookie. Only 9 players in NBA history have done that in their first year, with the most recent being Magic Johnson back in 1980. Looking back, the Mavericks' controversial decision to tank and keep their 2023 first-round pick is looking pretty smart now. It's paying off in a big way with Lively stepping up when it matters most. So hats off to the Mavs for playing the long game, and now they're reaping the rewards. The Celtics had a regular season for the ages with a 64-18 record and a 10.8 SRS, which is a metric that combines point differential and strength of schedule. They rank 5th in NBA history. The only teams ahead of them, the 1970-71 Milwaukee Bucks, the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls, 1971-72 Los Angeles Lakers, and 2016-17 Golden State Warriors. Talk about legendary company, but those numbers only scratch the surface. This Celtics team is a juggernaut. Sure, Dallas is on a hot streak. And yes, Kristaps Porzingis might be out or playing at less than 100% in the finals. And sure, Boston has had some head-scratching losses, dropping games to the injury-riddled Miami Heat and Cleveland Cavaliers, and nearly slipping against the Indiana Pacers in Game 3. Despite all that, the Celtics are poised to get at least 3 wins in this series. Jaylen Brown is a scoring machine, putting up 25 points per game with a sizzling 59.6 effective field goal percentage so far in these playoffs. Derek White has been solid, averaging 17.8 points and hitting 3.4 threes per game at a 70.7% clip. Drew Holiday stepped up and made huge defensive stops in late-game situations. Plus, Boston is getting timely contributions from the rest of their rotation. Now, the Mavericks' defense has been a key factor in their finals run, but let's be real. They're not shutting down Boston's three-point heavy attack entirely. The Celtics are just too good at spreading the floor and finding the open man. This series is going to be a battle. The Eastern and Western Conference playoffs have been a tale of 2 different beasts. On one hand, we've got the West with its depth and nail-biting series that could leave the Mavericks feeling a bit battered and bruised by the time the finals roll around. Meanwhile, Boston has been cruising past opponents like the Heat sans Jimmy Butler, the Allen-less Cavaliers, and even a Pacers squad missing Tyrese Halliburton in Game 3. So yeah, the Celtics should be feeling pretty fresh, though Dallas will still have a week off before the finals, which should be plenty of time to rest. But hold on a sec, because Dallas isn't just going to roll over. They've been battle-tested and battle-hardened, wrapping up the Wolves in 5 games and earning themselves some extra rest. Plus, they seem to have an answer for everything thrown at them by the league's best and most physical defense. As TNT's Reggie Miller so eloquently put it during Game 3, the Mavs have the 2 best closers left standing in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, with a supporting cast boasting size, defensive versatility, and a whole lot of talent. It's like having Mariano Rivera and Dennis Eckersley closing out games for you.
They switch it, right? But now they want to come back and double Luka. See, Kyle Anderson is on the island. He's looking for help. And then there's the brilliant passing of Luka finding the big. Hey, Reg.
When the pressure's on and the games get tight, trust me, they will. Luka and Kyrie will step up and make just enough plays to edge out Tatum, Brown, and the rest of the Celtics. It's going to be a 7-game thriller, but in the end, I'm putting my money on the Mavericks to come out on top.